Good evening, everyone. Today is Tuesday, February 6th, 2024. Welcome to the Dani Perro Show. Today we are live in the studio. I'm so blessed to be live because I don't get that opportunity to be in the studio that much with my guests. So I appreciate your time, Jim, Rezac, for being here with me and sharing the time you have with us, and of course going live.
I
be playing some music later, so we're excited for that as well.
Believe me, the pleasure and the privilege is mine. This is great.
Well, like I said, I truly appreciate it. I know that you currently are also from Delaware, so you did travel a little bit to us, but we greatly appreciate that. And like I said, having you in the studio is definitely a fun kind of occasion for yourself, right? Because you drove here, relaxation kind of interview is what we're going to have. And it's going to be more of also kind of like networking for yourself. You're going to show the world some of your music more in New Jersey and around the world here on Hamilton Radio. So thank you.
Well, thank you, because that's that is the I love doing this, but being able to do it in front of a new audience, whether they're behind the camera or live, is fantastic.
Yeah, and you get the opportunity from both ways. So excited to have you here today. So before we get started and talk about your amazing kind of genre that I'm excited to know about, I would like to know a little bit more about yourself. So I'm curious as to when did you first start singing? How old were you?
Well, so I've played guitar all my life, and we won't talk about how long that's been. But I've been in bands longer than I care to remember. I've always banged around an acoustic guitar all through college and stuff like that. But I didn't start writing music. I kind of got into it later in life. About 13 years ago, I started writing. I've been in bands. I just joined an Americana band called Runaway Train, and they had two very talented writers in there. And I said, well, I got some old stuff that I messed around with. And I brought them three songs, and all three of them were put in the set list. So I figured, well, maybe I'm onto something here, and I haven't stopped writing since. So.
Okay, so being within the Americana band, how do you feel like what do you feel like you brought to the table much?
I think the band's still wondering what I brought to the table. No, well, I was playing guitar. I had the best gig because I got a change of scenery. Every couple of songs I was switching instruments. I played guitar, six-string banjo. I had a cigar box slide guitar that my brother made.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
That's iconic.
So that's what I did. And then when they discovered I could sing, they said, you're singing. So I got to do that. And then I decided to throw a couple songs at them. So I did a lot in the band, and it was fun. They let me.
And it was a fun experience for you growing, of course, with it.
Oh,
do you feel like to this day getting your foot in the door with that band was maybe a jump start in your career?
Oh, absolutely. That's maybe even an understatement. Absolutely. Because I just didn't have, I think every guitarist messes around with, oh, here's a neat little riff, that'd be good in the song, but I didn't put it together until I saw what they did. I was impressed with what they did, and they were very supportive in allowing me to do the same thing. So
they helped you kind of like
encourage you. That was a pivotal point. Yes, absolutely.
Now, do you feel like that's where the writing bug bit you? As you would like to say in your bio?
Yes. Yeah.
Because when I was promoting you on Facebook as well for everyone to get a taste of who you are, it was so funny reading that in your bio where it's like the writing bug didn't bite him yet until a couple years ago, but it was more of like it bit you to the point where now you can't stop writing. Yeah. Where it's like they might have given you, so they kind of bit you, or it was more of like you being in that situation where it was something easier for you to, want to be a part of more. Like you wanted to increase and do more.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing. I never thought of it like that, but that's very perceptive because I watched these two, John Corrigan and Bobby Fischer. Bobby, she had a different style than John, and I watched them both attack it the same way, and I thought, because I'm not like either one of their styles, so I was encouraged by that, and I saw how much they had written. So yeah, I dove into it. Yeah.
And do you feel like from that being stated, because when did the Americana band started? A couple years ago?
Oh no, it's I think it dissolved
recent.
Probably somewhere around. Oh yeah, somewhere around 2010 is when we last about 3-4 years, I think.
Okay. And shortly from there, you went solo?
Yeah, I just started doing some solo stuff, and you know, that's kind of where I've been, do a little bit of I play some Irish music with a friend of mine, Keith
Oh.
Broden. Yeah.
Okay, that's fun.
Irish.
I love Irish music. The Irish like jig,
Yeah,
type of music.
If you mixed it with
like river
punk
dancing.
music. No, not quite.
Okay.
But my studio is right next to an Irish dance studio, so I get plenty of that in my.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fun. You can also add a little bit of that type of
Yeah.
like music into your, newest song track or something. River dancing is huge, as you know. It's definitely big and really big, huge a part of it. But I'm just curious to say, when you first started in music and obviously guitar, now was guitar the first instrument you started, and did you do piano? Did you do any other instruments? Was there an instrument that kind of felt like it was calling to you when you were younger?
The guitar was the first instrument. I was like in 7th grade when I asked for one for Christmas, and I got one. And that's what it was for a while. And then on my own, I thought, well, this has strings, and the mandolin has strings. Let me learn some chords. So I would dabble and stuff like that. I did pick up the banjo later.
Okay, that's very country of you.
Yeah, right. And I play some slides. But the guitar was it, Yeah.
And did you teach yourself? Were you self-taught?
I had the typical lesson like you would see, a kid carrying his guitar walking to some guy's house where he taught you out of the Mel Bay book, and you learned notes on string 1 and string 2, and then I started teaching myself chords. When I learned chords, and it was
a little easier from there. Yeah, of course.
on my own, and then had 2 teachers, and then for the rest of it, it's been pretty much on my own. Yeah.
So shortly after being taught a little bit more, and you dabbled in the arts, we'll say, you experienced more than you wanted to, and you had more, accomplishments of what you're doing now. You're using it more to your experience because you're creating your own chords, you're creating your own notes,
right?
Things like that as well.
Very good. Yeah. You start learning enough to. I believe that guitar playing and learning and teaching guitar. I do teach a lot, and
oh, you're a teacher as well.
Yeah, that's how
See,
I
I did
pay
not
the
know
bills.
Okay.
But they, you really. I encourage everyone that comes through my door, like, hey, you don't want to learn everything from some old guy in Wyoming, Delaware. You want to make sure you start branching off on your own, and I did that. And you learn a chord, you learn a technique or something, and then next thing you know, you're incorporating it in what you're writing and stuff like that.
Well, I would say playing guitar is definitely a huge accomplishment once you get to it, because when I first had a chance to do it, I'd gotten is it calluses?
Oh, yeah.
Under my nails, my fingers. I did not like that. Too rough.
Right.
Not fun.
Right.
And then the other thing was, I learned how to play 2 songs. I previously stopped a couple years ago, but I learned how to play All of Me by John Legend.
Yes.
And then Numb by Linkin Park.
Nice.
Which was like the huge accomplishment for me, because it was like, I could play guitar? What?
Wow.
And it's a lot of hard work than you actually can think, because you're singing and you're playing guitar, right? So the other thing is, while you're making sure all the chords are correctly, you want to make sure you're saying the same stuff correctly out of your mouth and not messing up on your lyrics.
Right.
So I'm sure, you know, being a musician, that's fun too, because you're creating your own certain notes that you want to do.
Right.
And your lyrics.
Yeah. Yeah. And to your point, you start with your skills of playing. You got to be so confident in them that you can almost forget about them while you're singing soul. Into
Yeah,
your
and you
lyrics.
also have to make sure guitar is tuned. That's another thing.
Oh, well,
I didn't
we don't
know.
want to get too. No.
I had no idea what that was. Every time my instructor came over, he was like, "Your guitar is tuned." I'm like, "Mm-hmm." And then I'm playing. He's like, "It's not tuned, is it?" I was like, "I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. I don't know what that means."
Depending on who you ask, I might not know what that means. But no, you're right. You have to keep it in tune, and you know.
Does that change with like certain weather or something?
Oh,
I never
absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. See,
Weather,
I had no
humidity.
idea.
Oh yeah. It's not like a piano. You know, you get a piano tuned, and a year later maybe tune it again. But the guitar, you know, weather, leaving it in the car, heat, cold, humidity.
Just everything affects the strings, right?
Right.
Do you know how to take the strings off and replace them? Because
Oh, yeah,
that's fun too.
Oh yeah.
That's definitely fun.
It's fun.
You know, they can break by accident when you're playing too rough. Oh
Right.
boy, there's a lot of fun things as a musician you
Yes.
get to deal with. So
And that happens to us all. You know, just when
later
you
down the line when you don't expect it,
Right.
you know, or right when you have a gig and you're getting ready and you're tuning it, and oh my goodness gracious, you lost a guitar string or something. There's a lot you have to worry about.
The reason I have this guitar is because 5 minutes before hitting the first chord, I was playing it music fest in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, and I was about ready to, I had my guitar plugged in. The guy said, sound man said, I'm not getting a signal. So we swapped the cord out, swapped the battery out, swapped I said, oh my God. And a woman came up to me, a songwriter, Amanda Panigali, and she said, would you like to use my guitar, my Martin guitar, because I can see you're freaking out up here, something's wrong. I said, yeah, I'd like to use your Martin guitar. And I used it. It was this model. And 3 days later, I walked into a music store
and you got it.
This. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if you're borrowing somebody else's guitar, I'm just curious, is it easy for you to know where your chords and stuff are? Because when you have your own guitar, right, you're used to your own guitar.
Yeah.
When you're using somebody else's, is it complicated? Is it the same?
That's you have some good questions. You're good at what you do. Yeah.
Thank you.
There's yeah.
Do my research.
No, really, these are really good questions.
I'm throwing you off guard. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm surprised. The guitars are similar. If standard tuning is the same, the frets are the same, But what is different is some guitars, the strings are closer together. Some guitar, the scale is it's a little longer neck. So you have to,
you have to move your hand.
Yeah,
and everything.
there is a little bit of a difference. Not too much going from the guitar I had to her guitar wasn't, but that is true. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. See, I had no idea. I was just curious because, using somebody else's guitar sounds like it'd be fun, right? Because you want to try a different guitar, like electric guitar or something, and you don't get that opportunity to do that as much. So that's pretty exciting. And it's if you use somebody else's guitar, but you're not used to it, does it take you a while to get used to it before you start playing?
Yeah, and something else I just thought of, even the feel of the neck. Now, some of it's minute, and you're like, oh, I can get, it's not, it doesn't throw you off, but there's a difference to everything.
Yeah, because it's the way that their guitar is, the certain type of material that it's created with and everything.
Yeah, and the height of
you would have never thought.
Yeah.
Man, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
it's just things you just coming up to me, and I want to make sure we go over everything.
Yeah, where you are. That's good.
So I would like to know more about your genre of music. So we call it indie garage. And why do we call it indie garage? Okay. What is the story behind it?
I was encouraged. After a long conversation with a mentor, this woman told me that her genre of music was hip hop opera, or opera hip hop.
Okay, that's so strange.
And she said because I didn't feel my music. She's a trained opera singer who writes songs in hip hop, and when she uses her voice, is very operatic.
That's actually really unique.
And I was encouraged. I said, so it's okay to come up with your own genre? She says, absolutely. I said, because for years, I didn't want my stuff didn't feel like country. Nothing wrong with country. I just didn't feel that that's what was here. I grew up on Irish music. I grew up on the Beatles and the Rolling Stones. So I had, the whole idea of the four-piece garage band, banging on some chords a la Neil Young or something.
Make your own type of music in the garage.
And so definitely I last couple of years I've been writing with a bigger idea as far as production. With that, I mean, it used to be me playing guitar, maybe doubled up on guitar, maybe overdubbed and done another track, and my vocals. But now I've got bass, I've got drums, I've got synth, I've used
so you have a
cellos.
lot more of
so
instruments you can include.
I thought it's not just what I'm playing when I'm doing a songwriter circle, it's also what I'm putting out of my studio, the stuff I have on Spotify or YouTube. That was a shameless plug, by the way.
No, you're good. I'll get to that before you perform your new song.
But so I wanted to cover, when I talk about the genre of music that I play, I wanted to cover what I really do, and so I thought about it because I've been described as indie folk, and there are platforms I belong to that don't let you put in your own genre. They make you pick: are you folk? Are you country? Are you, So whenever I can find something like indie folk, I'll use that. But yeah, indie garage. That's what I call it.
So it technically brings you back to being in a garage with instruments or just making your own type of sounds.
Yes.
Which, when I heard of it, I thought of garage band because people use that as on the computer,
right,
which is garage band, a shameless plug. And again, with that being said, that's how they did musical instruments back in the day, because it
Right.
was something that was easier for them versus going to a studio or
Yes.
hiring a band to be on their track.
You practiced, and there's quite a bit of an age difference here. So yes, my son.
Oh yeah, you know my age now.
Yeah, my sons. You say Garage Band, they think of the game, the video game. But Garage Band, when I was like in middle school, high school age, Garage Band was a real thing. It's where you went to practice and it was always at the drummer's house. And why is that?
Why was it always at the drummer's house?
Because the drummer didn't want, that was the hardest thing to move around. So
Oh yeah, yeah. So the drummer couldn't move.
Right. So we were always
Everybody came to him.
at the drummer's
I never
house.
knew that. Is that?
Yeah. If you ever listen to the Frank Zappa song "Joe's Garage," it's a perfect description of what a garage band is, and I would encourage anyone to do that. But yeah, so and there is a song. You asked me to send you some MP3s, and there's a song. I'm not going to play it live, but it's one of my songs called "An American Song."
Okay.
And I actually, if you listen closely, there's some ear candy in there. There's a lot of devices and things you hear in a garage. There's a drill as part of the percussion in the background.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Okay.
sand blocks, paint cans and stuff. Yeah,
Man, so
yeah,
did you use everything in your garage?
Yeah, yeah. So listen, it's kind of cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's-
okay.
yeah.
So that is called All American.
An American Song.
An American Song.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we have a lot of your tracks now too that we will be playing on Hamilton Radio. With
Nice.
that being said, so people can get an idea of the MP3 tracks and where people can find you on social media.
Okay.
But with that being said, we're going to give you the opportunity to have you play a song live today.
All right.
So what song are you going to play for us?
I'm going to play a song called, I'm going to start out with a Flexible Flyer, and it is my favorite song to play.
Sure. And why the title?
Well, if you're old like me, Flexible Flyer was a sled way back when.
Okay.
And I just...
Like an old-fashioned sled?
Yeah, one of the steering was, like you lay down and slide down, or sled
Yeah,
down.
but it has like the rope?
Yeah, rope.
Okay.
But the way to
I don't
steer
think
was
it's that
just...
old-fashioned. I think I still have one.
Yeah. And the whole
Okay.
thing is a bunch of snippets, and I did that with like An American Song and Flexible Flyer are two songs that they refer to songwriters often as storytellers, and I like that. I've always thought of myself more like a painter, like a splash of scenery here and
Yeah, like
and-
on a canvas.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that's kind of what this is about. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
I can play?
Take it away.
Okay. All
Yes,
right.
you can play.
Okay. Here we go. I'll be your lightning when your cloud rolls away. Your flexible flyer on that winter day. I'll be your mattress when your bones are tired. Your retro rocket when your engines have fired. I'll be your moon angel, bluer than blue. I'll be your moon shadow, 'cause that's what I do. Look into the sky and see where you and I began. Look in your heart, you will know who I am. I was your floating spaceship in '63. A million waves like a million hands rolling up from the sea. They pull you away, they're pulling you back, they're pulling you home. I'm letting you go, but I'm letting you know you ain't going alone. I'll be your moon angel, bluer than blue. I'll be your moon shadow. That's what I do. Look into the sky and see where you and I began. Look in your heart, you will know who I am. I'm not out of my head, but you're out of your mind. Doesn't matter to me, but it matters to time. Something you said stuck in my head. You can land safely home, but you're better off dead. I've been here before, it's just not okay. I've been here before, it was just yesterday. Nothing but talking, and we're walking, we're walking, we're walking. Once in a dream, once in a lifetime, record was spinning. It felt like the right time. I put on my suit, looked at the moon. I put on my suit, I left the room. How could you do what you do, what you do? How is it you do what you do, what you do? Anytime, any place, nothing but lies in all the space. I'll be your moon, angel, bluer than blue. I'll be your moon, shadow, 'cause that's what I do. Look into the sky and see where you and I began. Look in your heart, you will know who I am. Sorry about that ending.
Why? That was
Thank you.
beautiful. That was absolutely beautiful.
Thank you, thank you.
I wanted to let you know a couple people we actually have tuning in. We have a Joanne Boyer,
Ah, yes, from the old neighborhood. Yeah.
and I have a Wendy Red Rezac.
Yes, yes, Wendy. Thank you for tuning
So
in.
they said, yay, Jim, and they were giving thumbs up. They said it was beautiful.
Okay,
So they're
good.
tuning into the show.
They're not throwing anything.
They are not throwing anything currently.
Very cool.
You're all good.
Good. And these are people that tune in regularly to a live stream I do. So thank you guys. Thanks
That's
for
awesome.
being
I'm
here.
glad that they're there to support you, through the journey and everything
So,
like that too.
can
Your
I-
radio interview.
Can I tell you a little story about the? So when I wrote that song, I was telling my sons about it, and I said, "Hey, I got this idea for a bridge section. I'm going to do like a kind of a rapid fire vocals with no melody." And they said, "Yeah, that's rap." And I said, "No, I'm doing this, And I thought, "Oh my God, it is. It's right."
It is, but it's not like rap on the radio.
It's not like an old person trying to rap.
No, it
but yeah, I
works
thought-
perfectly in the
But
song.
yeah, it was fun. It was fun to do a little.
And it also is like challenging yourself, right?
Oh, yeah,
How
just
how
breathing.
fast can you
Yeah, right.
how fast can you remember what you're wanting to say in that tune
Well,
while you're tuning?
and memory is more and more a concern of mine. So it might have been an exercise.
Well, hey,
Yes.
it was perfect. Now, as a musician, because I know a lot of musicians look into rhyming, right, as a
Okay.
skill for writing songs.
Yeah.
Is that something that you feel like you do look into as well? Or does it just happen to like come up when you're trying to find the right word?
God, your questions are so good. These are things I like talking about. So very early on, I was fortunate to be mentored or given advice from a Grammy Award-winning songwriter
Who?
well, I'll mention his name. He's one of the most humble people I
beautiful.
know. So I wasn't going to, but Doug James, and look him up. Incredibly
I
talented.
feel like I've heard that name before.
Co-wrote with Michael Bolton, and he's just fabulous, and he's a good human being too. He's just such a good guy. But he took the time without knowing me and gave me an hour and a half of his time, listened to 3 songs, was very encouraging about my lyrics. He said, that seems to be a strong point. You need to put time into that. And he said the neatest thing. He said, when you, people will say, well, the rhyme isn't that important. Well, the way he feels, but if you don't want to rhyme, then go write a novel, you know.
Okay.
But if you're writing a song, it should be important. He said, but where the challenge is, you know, everyone's been listening to music, and we have rhymes that are already in our head, ready to come out just from us hearing them.
Yeah.
He said, resist the temptation to go with the first rhyme. You know, take a walk around the block 20 times, and it's worth it because, you know, it's not, you can come up with a rhyme, but you want that second line to be every bit as killer as that line you can. So
It needs to be like a hook, right?
Yeah.
It needs to kind of reel people in.
Yeah,
So we
know,
relate.
rhyming is important. To your point, it is important. But I think, you know, I want it to be new. I want it to be fresh. I had this thing, you know, this banner, you know, and I like, you know, I don't like, you know, I don't want to write anything that sounds like someone's already said it too many times, you know.
Well, I feel like a lot of the industry is like that a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's not that many words, even though we're in
Yeah.
the universe, you know what I mean? Like there's thousands of words.
Right.
But everybody uses easy going,
phrases.
rhyme kind of
Like
thing.
love on a shelf.
Exactly.
Put my love
Beer
on
in a
shelf. We've heard
can.
that before. Yeah. Right. Right.
Mowing your grass. You know,
Right,
it's
yeah.
just every single type of genre is just different depending on whoever the musician is to sing it.
Right.
And you don't get the opportunity as much inspiration-wise through a lot of the music you listen to now. I feel like independent music is actually starting to just do so much better than someone on the radio.
Right.
Because on the radios, depending what you're listening to, it could
Yeah.
be amazing, and some of it could be not great to your ear, because we all have different tastes to what we like.
And I think there are lots of talents. There's people who are singing lyrics that I go, but their voice is like killer and it captivates you, or the musicians.
Or they have an amazing voice, but they're saying the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Like they're trying a different genre where they thought pop was good for them, and they're
Right.
good as like a gospel artist.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like everybody doesn't know what their calling is.
Right.
It's very hard in the industry.
And you know what we were talking about before, like coming up with my own genre of music, I had to step out of my comfort zone to allow myself, like, who do you think you are coming up?
Did you
with
like sit back, like listen to your songs and everything,
Yeah.
and you were like, this
Yeah.
could be folk, this could be pop,
Yeah.
but this has a little bit of rap to it. So you know what? We're gonna throw all that together and do indie garage.
Right, let's call it something where someone doesn't, they can look it up.
Oh,
and not
nobody
know
can
what
steal it because nobody heard it before, right?
Right.
So it's
So
definitely
you're saying
unique.
they got to trademark it, right?
You should trademark it. You should definitely always trademark. If it's yours, trademark it, definitely.
Yeah.
Because you never know how far it's going to go in life, right? So you
There
want
you
to
go.
make sure it's yours. Nobody tries to steal it. And while you get bigger out there,
There's another good reason
the
I
other
came
thing
up
is
here.
you just need to focus on yourself and your music, right? And you have a whole bunch, I'm sure, family and friends to support you through
I
that.
don't have any friends. No, yes, I do. Yeah, and quick shout out to them, whether they're tuning in or not. Amazing people that are there. They're just amazing. And I recently reached out, you know, through Facebook and advertising and stuff, and I have a lot of friends all over the country, and that, yeah, they're amazing. They're supportive, and you know.
Where can we find you on social media? This is your chance to promote.
All right. Okay. So YouTube. You can find me at Jim Rezac Music. And may I say, and this reminds me of that commercial that's on, you know, to keep you from becoming your parents. I think it's a Progressive insurance commercial.
Oh, yeah.
Well, so the people of my age, when you go, if you don't do it unless you like it, but if you do like one of my posts, click like. That doesn't hurt my feelings. That's how nothing. No money exchanges hands. Just click like, subscribe,
Or
and save it.
subscribe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, YouTube, Jim Rezac Music. You can also. I am on Spotify. Again, Jim Rezac. Look me up. I'm on Facebook. Jim Rezac Music again. So yeah.
And your website?
It's jimrezac.com. Yes.
Okay, so no music with that one.
No, it is tons. Yeah, there's music. In fact, you can find everything I just mentioned on there.
Oh,
like
no.
links.
I meant
What?
like in your website.
Oh yeah, there's music there. You can.
No. So, okay.
On
your social-
with the word music. Yeah, let me tell you, there once was.
Okay.
Yeah, so I had two ways of getting it was Jim Rezac and jimrezacmusic.com. And I found out recently that I guess that timed out, and I have to now buy that back. And I'm thinking,
your domain.
Yeah, there you go.
So you just want this one instead.
Jimrezac.com. Yeah.
I mean, it's still you, right?
Right,
So
right.
they just want more money from you.
Right. Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's what it is. So I'm curious. I know September of last year, you currently had gotten your song "Trying to Be an Angel."
Oh yeah.
You want to tell me the story? It was picked up
Well,
by.
yes, I do.
Okay.
So I'm very excited about that. So
Congratulations.
thank you. Trying to Be an Angel was probably one of the more edgier songs I've written, and it's got it. Yeah, it's builds and it has some power to it. I like to think. Jermaine Ashley, Jermaine. I want to enunciate that correctly. Not Jermaine, Jermaine Ashley. From LA. His company is Cutting Floor Films, and they're coming out with this year, 2024. He's been working on it for a couple of years diligently, and they're in post-production. They're getting ready to take it to some film festivals, but the film is called Meat Hook, and it is a horror genre.
Sounds hard.
Gotta be,
you
right?
just said Meat Hook.
Yeah, and it's he reached out to me, said we'd like to use this, and I'm like, I missed the email. He sent me an email, and he finally got my phone number and said, hey, I'm trying to reach musician Jim Rezac. It's okay if you don't want to, just let us know. I said, oh my God, I missed the email. I didn't realize that. So opportunity almost missed. But
you got it afterwards.
Yeah.
He reached out to you again.
And he is, I'm not, there is a trailer. I'd recommend you go listen. And you can, on my YouTube channel, he gave me permission to use clips from the trailer. And I took some free stuff off the internet and formed my own little video for the movie, Trying to Be an Angel. Trying, no G on it. The number 2, because I'm...
He's very fly.
Yeah. I'm gangster that way.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I won't. So, but there is if you go to YouTube, you can also see the official trailer, Meat Hook trailer. There's Meat Hook Massacre, an older movie. You don't want to look that one up. So Meat Hook trailer, look it up. It's coming out this year, and he's using. I thought maybe they were using it for the credits or something like that. They're using that
for a killing scene.
I consider it's at towards the end when the heroine is walking into the protagonist is walking into a house where the killer is laying in wait for her. So I'm.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, I thought.
So it's like literally like come to pray.
Oh my gosh, it's gonna and I've been in touch with him a couple times.
But it'll be an iconic moment for everyone to see, right? Witness of what's going on, but then hear your music in the background. And you're probably also excited for them to like remember what the scene is, because I'm sure it's gonna get like nailed in our eyes, right?
Right.
But then the music is like all we're gonna want to hear versus the scene. So they did it on purpose. That's good.
It's I'm very excited about it. I have a son who's very much into the
horror.
Yeah, he does a TikTok channel of just horror video games. So when he heard, I think he was more impressed of the genre than the fact that his old man got something in a movie. But it's great.
I'm sure he's still very proud of you for that.
Is.
Of course he is, definitely.
But that's going to be in a. Thanks for mentioning that, because I'm very proud of that.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm so glad to hear that. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're gonna watch the whole film to watch your.
Oh yeah.
Amazing scene.
Yeah, we're talking about having some sort of party down home, like doing a, maybe.
Be prepared not to eat too much, so it's not like you jump scare and you like puke everything up after you see it. Right. But you don't know, right?
Right.
You have no idea exactly.
Bring the family.
Having the name being Meat Hook definitely sounds like it's more of like probably Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, you're nailing it, and I'm not giving any.
I'm like so scared. I'd only watch the scene for your
right.
song.
Well, and I'm not giving away. I don't know it. I only know the trailer, so because.
You wouldn't want to
anyway. was smart enough to know, hey, don't tell this guy too much. He's got a big mouth. No, but if you watch it, you can tell it's about a killer who uses a meat hook, and
something to do with that.
Someone survives, and he's coming back to get her.
All right. So you have a couple more songs for us as well that we're gonna play. What song is next? What do you want to share with us?
I'm gonna do the one you noticed that I have a capo that's a shark.
I do.
Cool?
It's so cool. I love it. Jaws. Donna. Donna. Donna.
Yeah. I'm gonna do this. Seems to be a favorite, and it's quite a bit different than the Meat Hook song. It's called Paper Cup, and if you were ever a little kid and got invited to a birthday party that was out in the backyard, and you were sitting on one of those right in the sun and one of those picnic tables, and they had those little paper Dixie cups.
Yep.
And they'd fill them with Kool-Aid or some other healthy drink.
Water.
Yeah. And you would go somewhere to play whatever, and you come back to your cup, and there was the condensation and I always thought, oh my gosh, it's like all that water in it is trying to escape, trying to seep through the boundary, and it was, but it was still held in place. And I thought, what a great analogy or image for a heart, so filled with love that it's still, but it's held, it bursts through the boundaries, but it's still held intact.
That's beautiful that you just said that, because as you know, we also lost somebody else today, right, in the music industry.
Oh, yeah.
So when you mentioned that, on my way here, we were listening to Red Solo Cup by Toby Keith.
Oh my gosh.
And I forgot that was his song.
I can't lie. After I got done with the.
Before I had you play. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought of that song, the Red Solo.
So as soon as you said paper cup, I was like, he's hitting it right on the head. We're talking about paper cups, Red Solo cups, everything. So rest in peace, Toby Keith. This one's for you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This goes to Keith. Okay. So this is paper cup. I have flown on empty wings. I've been shown what sadness brings. I've had oceans in my head turn into dried riverbed. But somewhere in those desert dreams I dive into the deepest stream. It's your love surrounds me as I wait here for your love to drown me. My heart is a paper cup. Your love is what fills it up, soaks right through me and surrounds me. All your love all around me. Love is water, love is ice, love can drown or baptize. I've been years without the rain. Now I know love's other name. If only you could swim through me like water in the deepest sea, then you know what I have when all your love flows over me. My heart is a paper cup. Your love is what fills it up, soaks right through me and surrounds me. All your love all around me. Sometimes I fill up my sea with a notion, then I float in my boat asleep on your ocean. My heart is a paper cup. Your love is what fills it up, soaks right through me and surrounds me. All your love all around me. Thank you. Thank you.
That was incredible. I think
I made someone cry with that once.
you almost got me. I was a little emotional with it, honestly. It was definitely very beautiful. It was such a great song. If everybody's tuning in right now, we just heard Paper Cup. Now, this is also on your website.
Oh, yeah.
or on your Spotify, right? So people can
Yes.
purchase it as well.
Yes, I like that. Thank you. Yeah.
iTunes.
Thank you.
Right? iTunes, is that still a thing? I hope it is.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Okay. Or Apple Music.
Yeah, Apple
is
Music,
now,
yeah.
something like that. There's
Yeah,
like always a new
I have a distributor that throws it out to stuff I've never even heard of. Everything. Deezer.
CD Baby.
I think maybe. I don't know.
That's
Yeah.
another one.
Yeah.
SoundCloud.
Yeah.
That's still
I
something.
loaded. I uploaded.
That was like back in the day too.
Yeah. MySpace.
Oh,
I'm
oh, you're showing your age now, Jim. You're showing your age.
the Victrola.
So I'm curious as to a little bit on your biography. You were talking that you
It's all
kind
lies.
of got a chance to do a music fest, right?
Yes, yeah.
Which is like a 10-day festival, I think in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
Yes.
And obviously, it's been like one of your favorite shows that you get
It
a chance
is,
to
and,
be.
yeah.
Tell me a little bit of what kind of goes on there.
It is truly the largest free outdoor music fest in the U.S. It's maybe North America, I don't know. But it's 10 days. It's been going on for, I want to say 34 years or something. Maybe.
Is it a lot of like
No,
independent artists?
Maybe more than that. Maybe like 40 years. Maybe this. Yeah, if you hear barbershop, polka bands, Beatle
God.
tribute bands, country bands, Latino music.
Everything.
The Red Elvis is one of my favorite bands. If you've never heard them, go check them out.
I don't know who that is, so
oh
I
my
definitely
gosh.
will. You have to let me know.
You know what? I'm not even gonna. You just go look them up. There, you'll love it.
Hey, polka music is even funny.
Yeah.
You know,
And I get to play. It's so they had a Billy Joel tribute band that sounded just like Billy Joel. It's one of my favorite places. It's put on by the Arts Quest organization, and they've been doing it for a long time. All volunteer. You know, volunteers are great.
When is it? Is it in the summer?
It's in the beginning of August. Usually, the first couple of weekends. It spans the first couple of weekends, like the 4th to the 11th, that kind of a thing, or you know. But it's a full, like 10 days, 11 nights, or something like that. You know.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's great. You go there, you park, you get they got food, they got lots of food, good beer. It's fun.
It's a fun music festival. Yeah.
You bring your family.
Is there chairs? Do you sit on the lawn? Do you bring your own chairs?
There
blankets?
are a lot of chairs under tents. I think you could probably bring your own too. But there's pavilions with chairs under them. Martin Guitar has a booth there because they're like right down.
One of
the
the
street.
sponsors,
Yeah.
probably for the event.
Yingling.
Is there a lot of vendors?
Yes, lots and lots of vendors.
Okay.
There's one.
I've never heard of this.
Oh my gosh! So I didn't until they asked me to play there.
That sounds amazing. I would like to go there
yeah,
just
go-
to listen to the
go,
music.
Go.
I'll
It's-
scout for every single artist on my show.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah. The Martin Guitar people have a, and I love it because the stages all have it must be, I don't know whether it's Pennsylvania Dutch or whatever, but every stage is has at the end of the name plots, like lager plots. That's the beer stage, lager plots, lyric plots. It's just
It might be Dutch.
yeah, it's fun.
It probably sounds like it might
Yeah.
be, but that's awesome. Where is Bethlehem, Pennsylvania? How far is that from?
Well, from me, it's about 2 hours and 20 minutes from Dover, Delaware. But
New
it's
Jersey.
if you're familiar with Allentown, a little bit farther,
A little further than that.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Nazareth, PA,
Okay, so up there.
yeah,
A little bit up there.
right.
Okay.
And it's beautiful. They have stages on both sides of the river. The old steel foundry is still there. It's not working, but at the base of it, they have the stages, outdoor stage.
Oh, wow.
It's beautiful.
Oh,
yeah.
that sounds beautiful.
Yeah, one of my.
So you get the opportunity to play there. So who did you play with last year?
Well, I myself, I go up there and I do the, just me, and I got the gig because I was associated with the Philadelphia Songwriter Project, and I played one stage and did my half-hour set or.
Oh, they gave you a half hour. Okay.
40-minute set or whatever it was, and they've been adding stages. So now this past year I played 4 different stages. I played the cinema. I played the Martin Guitar. That they even had me play a little, like, local radio television station had me off to the side doing a little interview and stuff. But it's fun. And then my favorite, but the stage I was really looking forward to playing with the Main Street stage, right on Main Street, old historic
that's
Bethlehem.
beautiful, yeah.
Thousands of people walking by. It's great. Yeah.
And it's a free music event?
Yeah, it's free. Now they have a main event, like someone like oh my gosh, Earth, Wind and Fire, Steve Miller. They have rap artists, they have country artists, they have Marty Stewart. The Chainsmokers. They and every night they have a different main act.
Okay, headliners.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, yeah.
Now that you would pay for if you, but
of course,
not to do them out of selling tickets, but you
just
can
come for the free people and leave.
You can hear them fine from like I heard them from a mile away on a bridge that goes over the ridge, and I sat there and just listened to. So yeah, it's a beautiful.
Well, I mean, it still sounds
people.
fun going to the event than sitting on a bridge.
Yeah. It was, and the food. There's a food truck there that sells the best Cuban sandwiches. Oh.
Wow. So you're definitely looking forward to August.
Yes, I am. Yeah.
So the song that you have that we're actually going to close with as well. What song are you?
Okay. So this is I'm taking the opportunity to play some things and do a real cross section, and this is called Monster. Believe it or not.
Okay.
And
Why Monster? Where do your titles come from? That's very unique and fun.
Drug-infused dreams. No, no. This is, and a lot of it's poetic license. It isn't about Frankenstein or anything like that. But it has
Halloween's around the corner.
Yeah, it always is. It's the imagery and the comparison. A creature who's helpless and as helpless as a werewolf or something in the full moon. And hopefully you'll see when the lyrics come out. But it's somewhat eerie. I think I do like getting a haunting. I like some of the melodies. I like the word haunting, and I do try not with everything, but I do try that to get that in there. But I like I like doing some old school stuff. Like this one incorporates a little bit of a falsetto vocally.
Okay, yeah, because the first one he did rap for us. So let's see what you have, Jim. You have something different on each song.
You see, and hence I didn't want to get pigeon. Now you can understand my dilemma with what kind of stuff do you play?
Because the thing is, you, as an artist, as you can tell, for getting to know you as well on the show, it definitely seems like you just wanted a little bit of everything in your music.
Yeah, and I didn't.
Besides opera, I didn't hear that yet.
What was it?
Besides opera, I said.
Yeah, right.
I didn't hear that yet. You said there's falsetto in this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see if he can do it. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. This is Monster. Okay. Moonlight on your cheek. My heart is so weak. I have been waiting for 100 full moons. Your skin is so white. I loved you tonight. I have been waiting outside your room, and you bring the monster in me. And daybreak finds me on my knees. You bring the monster out in me. I'm done moving forward. I've forgotten my past. In 1,000 years There is nothing I lack. The promise of love, I've watched it decay. Newspapers and memories just wither away. And you bring the monster out in me. And daybreak finds me on my knees. You bring the monster out in me. Time is like water chasing the tide. It finds us and saves us. It keeps us alive. Your wound is eternal, a lance in your side. You find me and save me. Give me somewhere to hide. Moonlight on your cheek. My heart is so weak. I have been waiting for 100 full moons. And you bring the monster out in me. And daybreak finds me on my knees. You bring the monster out in me.
I feel like I should just say it's absolutely perfect to say that we should end the song, like the show, on that note. Like, absolutely perfect. But I need to give you an opportunity to promote your upcoming event.
Oh, okay. So,
What do you have coming up this month?
well, I had a song come out last week, and that's close enough where I can still talk about that on Spotify and YouTube. A song called "Train Jump."
Okay.
I sent you the MP3, and they say a songwriter, his or her favorite song is the one they're writing or the one they just finished, and that's the one that just came out, and I like that. But I have got some gigs locally at Harvest Ridge Winery. I'm going to be doing
In Delaware?
Yeah, in Delaware. It's actually Marydale in Delaware. It's people know where that is down home, but that's at 4:30 in the afternoon on Saturday. I want to say the 17th. If Saturday is the 17th, that's right. Let's see. I'm playing. Bally's has a casino now in Dover. It used to be Dover Downs. And they have a wonderful steakhouse, and I'm going to be there on, I think that's the 8th.
Do you want me to pull up your event?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Give me 1 second.
So there's a
Try
Friday,
to help you with that.
Friday and Saturday. It's like 17th and 18th, I think. Friday I'm at the Bally's. That's a nighttime gig, and then Saturday afternoon. That's fun. While you're looking that up, it's outdoor or indoor, but it's a vineyard, and there's food trucks, and they have wonderful wine there if you're into that. And
I think I'm going to your February shows. Here you go.
oh, thank you. God
You can
bless
promote.
you.
You're welcome.
Look at that. Yeah, Saturday, February 17th, at 4:30 to 7:30, I'll be at Harvest Ridge Winery. And the 18th, God, I almost forgot about the 18th is a Sunday, also in the afternoon, 3 o'clock. is a songwriter circle with my good friend Saul Knopf.
Okay,
and
that's what you were talking about a little bit
Yeah.
this morning. Not this morning. Oh my God, before the
Yeah.
interview.
And yeah, a young, talented songwriter. She's brand new to it. I think she has a smattering of songs, but she's an up and comer.
Okay.
And she's Taylor
You guys are
Wallace.
boosting her on the.
Yeah, and it's a house style concert. You show up. It's there's no ticket sales. They pass a hat and they have you BYOB, but that's right behind my studio down. And those are. Yeah, and then the following Friday is at the Bally's, But
Okay.
yeah, but
So that's upcoming
thank you
for
for allowing
February.
me to do that.
You're
Thank
welcome. Yeah, I want to give you the opportunity to promote your
Thank you.
upcoming events. I mean, they
This
should
has
give you
been
that.
great. This has been the most comfortable thing I think I've done.
Well,
in the
Jim,
way
we
of
really
it.
appreciate having you. I'm sorry for all the technical difficulties. We took care of the light and everything behind you, so it all
Yes.
looks perfect. But I really appreciate your time today. Like I said, I appreciate you driving here.
Thank you.
Getting a chance to meet us, obviously, in person versus video.
Guys in
And
the back.
if you ever have to as well, video is fine too. We
Yeah.
never mind doing that. But, you get the opportunity to drive, and that's just fun.
Yeah.
It's just so interactive, and that's exactly what I like making my show about. So I'm glad that you were here
But
today.
you do a good job with it, and the crew you have here is great.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much. So everyone, make sure you guys tune into the Dani Perro Show every Tuesday from 6:30 to 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. And have a great night, everyone.